Hi, friends. This is kind of an unplanned live event, which is totally my jam because I can just go on the fly and it doesn't really matter who's here, who's watching, because I'm going to throw this on YouTube. If you didn't already know, I've got a YouTube channel. I just popped on three of my most recent Facebook Live yoga videos on there. So the link to my YouTube channel is here in the description of this video. And what I'm going to be doing today is chatting about this newsletter that I sent out just a week or so ago with tons of ideas on how to just smile, have a better time during all of this. Um, Obviously, this is like the craziest time that any of us have ever lived through or been through, and it's freaking crazy. So I compiled just a little group of ideas, some things that I'm doing at home, some things that maybe you've already done, maybe some things that you've not thought about doing, um, just to lighten the mood and have some fun. So I split these ideas up into different categories. So my first category is movement, and the first option I have on here is to just shake it out. And shaking is amazing. It's great for your health. It allows your muscles and connective tissue to relax, releases trapped trauma in the body, and as well as trapped emotions from the fascia. This is such an amazing thing to do in the morning, but you can really do it anytime throughout the day. I would just suggest doing it on an empty stomach because you're literally just jumping and bouncing around. Um, it always brings so much joy, and is just such a wonderful way to lighten the day. So I have actually a couple of shaking and bouncing videos here on this page, Cat Parks. If you just click on videos, you'll see a couple of my shaking and bouncing videos if you are wondering what the heck I'm talking about. Next on my list is to do yoga. Now, practically every single yoga teacher and studio is hosting live classes right now. I actually took my very first live class yesterday with one of my favorite teachers at not at a studio because I was in my own living room and it was amazing. But he was at the studio and I got to take the class live on Zoom. And, of course, it's not the same as being in physical presence with a teacher in a studio, but it still really helps just to get things moving. So I've actually hosted four yoga videos, yoga classes online in the last. You can find those all also on my page as well as on my YouTube channel. They're about an hour long, maybe 50 minutes or so. All super easy. We don't do anything crazy because I don't think we need anything too crazy these days. Just a little bit of movement and stretching. My next option on here is to have a dance party. So if you haven't noticed, Dr. Ryan and I have been hosting all these dance parties. We've done about 4 so far. We have another one this Friday, April 10th at 7 p.m. Pacific time. These dance parties have been so much fun, like literally lighting up my life. Even the times when I feel like, oh, I don't really know how much I feel like dancing, I put my headphones on and that is all gone. We've, of course, been doing it live here on Facebook, so people can see us, we can't see them, but it kind of makes it just a little bit more fun to be able to see yourself. And we've been going crazy, and it's been a freaking blast. So again, we have some of those live videos still on this page, on our shared page, which you can find at Be Easy Now. Um, and that's where we will be going live on Friday once again for our fifth dance party now. So we'd love for you to join us. But even if you don't join us, even if you're not doing a dance party with pals, throw on some music, pop on some headphones. We all have favorite songs, we all have favorite music. Dancing is just such a great way to uplift yourself. Next on my list is work out. Of course, it's not the same as going to the gym. You don't have 25-pound weights. You probably don't have an elliptical in your house. If you do, that's cool. bars and heavy things and all that might not be available to you, but squats and push-ups and burpees and lunges are all available to you. Even if you don't have weights, you can grab a gallon of water, you can hold on to some soup cans, or just do a bunch of body weight exercises. If you don't really know what to do, there are tons of trainers on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube that are all willing to share their workouts with you, which has been amazing. Personally, I have been working out like a lot more than normal, um, just over the last couple weeks, mostly out of sheer boredom. But it's been really wonderful to see my body changing, um, and just kind of getting that motivation in a different way, even if it's motivation out of boredom. All right, next section is mindfulness. Organize anything. Go through your closet, pull out clothes to donate, file all those papers on the floor. That's a note to myself. Go through that box that you keep moving from place to place, which is also a note to myself. You could maybe watch the Marie Kondo series on Netflix and then go crazy on all the freaking stuff that we have. I've been noticing that I just have a lot of stuff, and I'm looking forward to kind of paring that down over the next couple weeks. Next on the list of mindfulness is to write in a journal. This is also so helpful. First of all, it helps you process your emotions and kind of move through things that maybe you didn't take the time to think about. But also, your future self will be so happy that you wrote some of this stuff down. I actually am hosting a 2-week journal accountability and support group right now. We are on day 3. So if anyone out there is interested in joining a journaling accountability support group, hit me up, write a comment, shoot me a message. It's not too late to join us. You're just going to be a couple days behind, but no harm in that. Whether or not you join us, just grab a journal, grab a notebook, write down some thoughts, and get into it, because this is a really powerful time in our lives. And just taking the time to slow down and write down, it can be really helpful. Next on my list is to say some affirmations. Dr. Ryan and I have posted quite a few videos with some of our favorite affirmations if you want to join us. Again, these videos can be found either on my page here, Cat Parks, on Dr. Ryan's page, I am Dr. Ryan, or on our shared page, Be Easy Now. A couple of the affirmations that we've done videos of are: I trust the process of life. Everything is always working out for me. I am safe, secure, and divinely protected and guided. All is well in my world. And in every day, in every way, I'm getting better and better. We love affirmations. And to choose one of those ones that can really be uplifting, can bring some joy and some grounding to this crazy time, can be helpful to just say them lots of times. Next on my list of mindfulness ideas is to meditate. If you've never meditated before, now would be the perfect time to get started. There's tons of meditation apps and videos and tutorials out there, or you can just set an alarm on your phone for 5 to 10 minutes and sit with your eyes closed. Sometimes I like to repeat a mantra to myself to stay in the zone, or just focus intently on my inhale and exhale. A couple of my friends, Luke and Patrick, have also been hosting a weekly sound bath that has been an amazing way to meditate. Again, I pop on some headphones and just listen to the beautiful sound vibrations that they create and zone off into a blissful, peaceful state. So I can also link their page on here as well, where you can listen to their sound vibrations. My next section is about healing. So first on that list is to schedule a session with Dr. Ryan. He is just an amazing healer, and it doesn't matter whether he is in the same room with you or 1,000 miles away. He's spent the last 8 years developing his own style of healing, which he can utilize from a distance. And many others can attest to his powerful healing that they've experienced. that is absolutely magical and incredibly effective. So if you're interested in working with him, he's currently offering $50 off all new client sessions. You can find more about him at iamdrryan.com. Another thing that we can do for healing, like I just mentioned, listen to a sound bath. Yes, my friends Luke and Patrick have been hosting a weekly live sound bath here on Facebook, and it is phenomenal. So again, I'll link their Facebook page so that you can follow them as well. Another thing that we can do is self-healing tapping sequences. So this is another one of Dr. Ryan's offerings, which allows us to delve deeply into our own healing on a smaller scale than through a full distance session with him. So for only $30, Dr. Ryan creates 3 personalized self-healing tapping sequences for you and intentions to utilize daily. These can be related to any of the following categories: health, relationships, finances, career, passion, purpose, self-worth, or life itself. These have been really effective in mine and others' lives. Again, if you're interested in checking out one of those, you can head to Dr. Ryan's website, iamdrryan.com. Or again, there are lots of things on YouTube. You can find Dr. Ryan on YouTube. He has a few tapping sequences that you can follow along as well. Some group healing. Dr. Ryan and I have also been hosting some live group healings on Sunday, as well as open Q&A, which is just a fun opportunity to answer all the questions that you guys might have for us. But again, these kinds of things are available, all over the internet. So finding what works for you, finding a healer that you vibe with, and maybe just joining in on some of their healing. The next category is self-care, and I think this one has been talked about a lot, but can be really helpful when we're super bored. Like for me, my number one is paint your nails. Even if you have nowhere to go, it might make you feel a little bit better, like you're, dressed up or put together. You can paint your toenails. You can paint your partner's toenails. Let's see if Dr. Ryan lets me do that. You can give yourself a full mani and pedi. Soak your hands and feet in some warm soapy water or oils. Push back your cuticles, cut your nails, buff your feet. This is just a nice way to spend some time and take care of your own self and your body. You can use a face mask. I've got a ton of different sheet masks and mud masks here at home, or you can make your own with kitchen items. You can hop on Google or Pinterest for some ideas. You can do egg whites, honey, oats, coconut oil, all kinds of amazing things that you probably already have on hand that are great for your skin. Next on that self-care list is to moisturize your face. Oh my gosh, and your hands and body while you're at it. Now we can't say that we don't have the time. So grab that eye cream, get it around your eyes, use some moisturizer, lotion those hands. They're probably all dry and crusty from all the hand washing. I know that mine are. Next on my list, I've got the category of hobbies. Learn how to knit or crochet. Of course, this is helpful and mostly works if you already have supplies at home, like yarn or hooks or needles. My grandma taught me how to knit when I was about 10, but then YouTube taught me how to crochet. And I'm a crochet addict. I just finished this crochet pillow. This is a blanket behind me. It's massive, so I'm not going to take it out. And crocheting is super fun. It's a great way to pass the time. You can make gifts for other people or fill your house with blankets. Next on the hobbies section is that you can cook something new. You might even just find your new thing, and maybe it's just made of random leftovers from your fridge. I would love to hear some of the things that people are cooking lately. I'm not even going to talk about the things that I'm cooking because they're pretty boring. Next thing that we can do, kind of a flip side of cook something new, is bake. I'm a huge fan of baking. If you happen to have flour, lucky you, because I think a lot of the stores have been out of flour recently. But baking is super fun. It's a great way to spend time with kids if you've got kids, or just make something delicious for yourself or your partner. We've got some amazing gluten-free bread mix called Pamela's that I highly recommend, which doesn't take a lot of baking skill. Next in this hobbies section is to find a new hobby. You can paint or draw, make candles, birdwatch, tap dance, play card games. You could pick up an instrument again. You could break dance. I really want to see that. You could do quilting or sewing or embroidery. You can work on your handstand. You can work on your hula hoop. Possibilities are truly endless. My next section is to be social from a distance. Call or text your friends. One of my very best friends just had a baby, and it's been amazing getting to FaceTime with the two of them more often. I also have just a ton of amazing friends that I've been lucky enough to talk to over the last few weeks for really long periods of time, which has been really great. You can also call or text your family, especially if you have, older parents or if your grandparents are still alive. Take this opportunity to call them and get to know them and send love and just be there. Um, just because we have to be 6 feet apart from each other or are practicing this social isolation doesn't mean that we have to be completely socially distant. We can be physically distant and socially close. Next on that list is to write a letter or an email to a friend or family member or someone that you know is going through a tough time. Receiving personal mail or email is such a rarity these days, and it always brings such a ray of sunshine to people's lives. If you've got nieces, nephews, or grandkids, now would be an awesome time to start like a correspondence tradition. Sending them some letters or emails would be really nice. Next on the social part is to have a Zoom, FaceTime, or Facebook party. It's such a blessing that we live in a time that we have so many options for being socially distanced. There are tons of people having group chats and parties and playing games together online. We don't have to just use our online experience for going down the scroll hole of Facebook and Instagram. We can play games, we can challenge our brain, we can have parties with our friends on Zoom, all kinds of options. My last section is media. We can read or listen to a book. If you are like me, then you probably have tons of shelves of tons of books that you've started and never finished. And you know something about me. It's kind of like all my crochet projects. So yeah, grab a book, finish it, read it, open it. You probably bought it for a reason, and that's a note to myself. Next on there is like watch Netflix, because that's always an option. Netflix has a lot of really wonderful things on it right now. I would try to avoid things like Pandemic and Outbreak, but you do you. If you don't have Netflix, there's obviously tons of things on TV. Maybe you've got some DVDs. Just kind of a fun way to pass the time. Next on my list is to listen to a podcast. I've been a podcast junkie for about the last month. It's such an amazing way to break up the day, to learn something new, or think about things in a different way. It's also really nice to just have something to listen to while you're doing a monotonous task, like doing dishes or vacuuming, and you can get something out of it. And obviously, on the flip side of podcasts, we can listen to music. If you've got Spotify, they've got such a really wonderful discover option that they just show you new music that you've never heard before, which is so cool. And of course, you might have some of your own favorites that you like to listen to. So, yeah, those are all really amazing options. A couple of my favorite books of all time, obviously Harry Potter. I've got all the Harry Potter books. Listening to them on audiobook is amazing. Make sure you get the one that's read by Jim Dale. Conversations with God is also an amazing, amazing book that I've probably read about 8 or 10 times. You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay, also one of my favorite books ever that I've read about 10 times. Let's see. Some of my favorite podcasts. I've been listening to a couple of the NPR podcasts. There's the NPR TED Radio Hour. I've learned so much from that podcast. NPR Hidden Brain is also a super cool one. And my new recent obsession is Harry Potter and the Sacred Text. Says these two hosts read Harry Potter chapter by chapter and kind of look at it from a sacred text standpoint, which has been phenomenal. I've also been listening to a lot of astrology podcasts and learning more about astrology, which I won't get into today because it's pretty esoteric. Um, that was pretty much most of my newsletter, and that was my ideas from my most recent newsletter, with some ideas on how to smile, how to have a little bit more fun, how to pass some time during this crazy, crazy time, and hopefully give you 21 minutes of a couple smiles if you watched this all the way through. So again, if you're here on Facebook, follow me. I've got lots of stuff to share. If you're on YouTube, I'd love if you subscribe to my channel. Sign up for my newsletter if you'd like. And lots of love. That's pretty much it. I hope that you have a fabulous rest of your day. Bye bye.